They say we all want to grow rich in money, in love, in meaning, but few ever understand what those words truly mean. As Napoleon Hill once wrote, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Yet most people, like Paul, spend their lives chasing what can only be attracted. Paul was 35, successful, admired, always moving. His days were a blur of meetings, deadlines, and glowing screens. He told himself he was building a better future, but inside, he was losing the present. He had become a man, running through life, with his eyes fixed on the horizon, never noticing the ground beneath his feet. Each morning began with noise, the alarm, the phone, the traffic, the rush. He believed that the harder he worked, the faster success would come. But the more he chased it, the further it slipped away. He had learned to achieve, but he had never learned to be still. One rainy evening, exhausted and frustrated, Paul cut through the city park to clear his mind. The drizzle glistened beneath the streetlights, and the world felt quieter than usual. That's when he saw him, an old man sitting on a wooden bench, feeding pigeons from his hand. No phone, no umbrella, no rush. Just peace. Paul slowed down, almost curious. "You're not in a hurry?" he asked, half smiling. The old man chuckled. "What for? The world moves fast enough without my help." Paul shook his head. "You have to move. If you stop, you fall behind." The old man looked at him, eyes calm and steady. "Fall behind what?" he asked softly. "You can't chase peace and expect to catch it. You have to become it." Paul frowned. "Sounds like something out of a book." The man smiled again. "Maybe you've read it. Napoleon Hill once said, 'Peace of mind is the measure of real wealth.' But you'll only understand that when you stop running." Paul laughed it off, thanked him politely, and hurried away. But something about those words lingered. That night, as rain whispered against his window, the meeting he'd spent weeks preparing for was cancelled. The deal fell through. Someone else got the recognition he wanted, and for the first time he didn't feel anger, only emptiness. He remembered the old man's words, "You can chase peace and expect to catch it." The next morning he didn't set an alarm. He let the light wake him. He brewed his coffee slowly, feeling the warmth against his hands. Outside, the city moved on, as it always did, but he, for once, stayed still. It felt strange at first, to do nothing, to simply be, but in that silence, something began to shift. He started walking early before work, when the world was quiet. He noticed the smell of rain on the pavement, the sound of leaves brushing in the wind, the rhythm of his own breath. He stopped measuring life by progress and began measuring it by presence. Days turned into weeks, and his energy began to change. He no longer spoke to impress, he spoke to connect. He no longer worked to prove, he worked to serve. And as he stopped chasing, life started moving toward him. Opportunities appeared naturally, projects that felt right, people who respected his calm instead of his speed. Even love began to return in the simplest forms. A call from an old friend, a stranger's smile, a moment of quiet joy. Paul realized that Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich was never just about wealth. It was about vibration, the alignment between mind and reality. He finally saw that thinking alone was not enough. One had to feel the truth of abundance even before it appeared. Desire without peace is noise, but desire with faith becomes creation. One evening, he returned to that same park bench. The old man wasn't there, but a folded piece of paper rested beneath a small stone. On it, written in neat handwriting, were the words, "When you stop running, your mind begins to work for you, not against you." Paul smiled. It was as if life itself had handed him the missing page of Hill's philosophy. That night, sitting by his window, the city lights shimmering below, he whispered to himself, "This is what it really means to think and grow rich. Not to chase, not to force, but to believe so deeply that you no longer doubt. To hold peace in your mind, until the world has no choice but to mirror it. He closed his eyes, no longer restless, no longer afraid. Everything he once ran after was now quietly coming toward him, because when he stopped chasing, he finally aligned with the truth Napoleon Hill had always taught. Thought is the cause, reality is the effect. If this story made you pause for a moment, share it. Maybe someone out there is still chasing what they could simply attract. Tell me, what are you learning to stop running from today? Sometimes the richest thing we can do is to finally be still.